Hello, everyone. Are you struggling with retaining the information that you are studying? Let's be honest, it can be very hard to keep track of everything you need to know for an exam or just for general knowledge. But don't worry, because today we are going to talk about 7 tricks that will help you retain information faster and easier than ever before. So, if you are interested in learning more about this topic, then make sure to watch this video till the end. If you do that, you will get access to our bonus tip number 7 at the end of this video. Also, please remember to subscribe so that you won't miss out any future videos that will help you in your learning journey. Alright, let's get started. Tip number 1 is all about practicing some learning techniques like speed reading and note-taking shortcuts. This can be one of the most effective ways to learn how to quickly absorb new information and retain it over time. By practicing these techniques, you will be able to process information faster, which means that you will be able to learn new things quicker than before. For example, by using some note-taking shortcuts such as mind mapping or using abbreviations, you can save a lot of time when taking notes. And trust me, time is of essence when trying to learn new information quickly. Speed reading can also be extremely useful as it allows you to read and understand written text much faster than usual. If you combine this technique with active recall, where you constantly ask yourself questions about what you have just read, you will be able to improve your focus and concentration, which in turn will help you remember what you have learned. There are many other techniques that you can practice, such as the first letter technique, the pegword technique, and the storytelling technique. We will discuss these techniques later in this video, so stay tuned for that. Tip number 2. It is all about using the Feynman technique. This technique can be incredibly helpful in grasping new concepts and making them easier to remember. The Feynman technique is an effective method for memorizing complex concepts or ideas in a simple and easy way. It involves breaking down the concept into smaller parts until you fully understand it. Once you have mastered the basics, you can build up again and add more detail. This technique is particularly useful for retaining information related to technical topics such as science or mathematics. If you want to go into more details about the Feynman technique, we have made another video about this technique, so make sure to check it out after watching this video. Tip number 3 is all about spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a learning technique that can be highly effective in helping you retain information. The idea behind spaced repetition is that instead of cramming all of your study sessions right before an exam, you should instead review material regularly over a period of time. This helps your brain to move information from short-term memory to long-term memory more efficiently. To use spaced repetition effectively, you can use flashcards or online tools that can help you track which topics you have studied and which ones you need to review. One of the biggest benefits of using spaced repetition is that it can help you identify knowledge gaps and focus on areas where you need more study. This technique is especially useful when you are dealing with large amounts of information or complex concepts. By breaking down your study sessions into smaller chunks and reviewing them regularly, you will be able to retain the information much more easily. In the end, it will save you a lot of time and effort when preparing for an exam or learning new skills. Tip number 4. It is all about active recall. Active recall is a learning technique that can be highly effective in helping you retain information. Instead of passively rereading your notes or textbook, active recall involves actively retrieving information from memory. You can do this by testing yourself, by closing your book, or by trying to explain concepts to someone else. Active recall helps your brain to strengthen the connections between neurons, which makes it easier to remember information over time. One of the best ways to practice active recall is by using flashcards. Flashcards are a versatile tool that can be used to practice active recall for various subjects and topics. They are also a great way to test yourself on specific facts or concepts without having to review an entire chapter or lecture. Flashcards can help you identify knowledge gaps and focus on areas where you need more study. Overall, active recall is an essential tool for anyone who wants to learn more effectively and retain information for longer periods of time. So make sure to use it in your next study session. Tip number 5 is all about interleaving. Interleaving is a learning technique that can be highly effective in helping you retain information. Interleaving is a learning technique that involves mixing different topics or skills during study sessions rather than just focusing on one topic at a time. For example, instead of spending a whole day studying math, a whole day studying English, and a whole day studying history, you would spend 1 hour a day on each subject. The idea behind interleaving is that it can help learners retain information by forcing them to actively retrieve information from memory more often. When you switch between topics, your brain has to work harder to remember what you have previously studied, which strengthens the connections between neurons and makes it easier to remember information over time. Interleaving can also help learners identify knowledge gaps and focus on areas where they need more study. Overall, interleaving is a powerful learning technique that can help you retain information more effectively. Tip number 6. It is all about using the first letter technique. The first letter technique is a simple and effective memorization technique that can be used to remember lists of words or concepts. As the name suggests, this technique involves using the first letter of each word or concept to form a memorable phrase or sentence. For example, if you needed to remember the colors of the rainbow, you could use the first letter technique to create the sentence, "Richard of York just gave battle in vain," which corresponds to the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. This technique is based on the idea that the brain is able to remember words and phrases more easily than a list of isolated words. By creating a memorable phrase or sentence using the first letters of the words you want to remember, you create a link between the new information and something that is already stored in your long-term memory. This makes it much easier to retrieve the information when you need it. The first letter technique is a versatile tool that can be applied to a wide range of situations. Students can use it to memorize the periodic table, the order of operations in mathematics, or the names of important historical figures. It can also be used in everyday life to remember things like a shopping list or the names of people you have just met. Overall, the first letter technique is an effective and easy-to-learn memorization technique that can be used in a variety of situations. With a little practice, you will be able to use this technique to remember information quickly and easily. Tip number 7 is all about using the pegword technique. The pegword technique is a powerful memorization technique that can be used to remember lists of items. This technique involves pairing words or concepts to be remembered with a list of memorized words or numbers. The peg list can be anything that you have memorized, such as the first letters of the alphabet or the numbers 1 through 10. Once you have chosen a peg list, you can start memorizing your list of words or concepts by creating pairs. For example, if you wanted to remember the names of the planets in the solar system, you could pair the word Mercury with the number 1, Venus with the number 2, and so on. To use the peg word technique, you simply need to visualize or create a memorable link between the peg word and the word or concept to be remembered. This can be done through various methods, such as creating a funny image or sentence that incorporates both words. The beauty of the pegword technique is that it is a flexible technique that can be applied to a wide range of situations. Students can use it to memorize the periodic table, the order of operations in mathematics, or the names of important historical figures. It can also be used in everyday life to remember things like a shopping list or the names of people you have just met. With a little practice, you will be able to use the pegword technique to remember information quickly and easily. And last but not least, tip number 7 is all about using storytelling. Storytelling is a powerful tool that can be used to enhance learning and improve retention. When you tell stories, you create a narrative that connects ideas together, making it easier to remember them over time. Stories also help to engage the listener's emotions, which further enhances learning and retention. You can use storytelling in a variety of ways to improve your ability to remember information. One way is to create stories that connect new information to things you already know. This can help you to see the bigger picture and make sense of new information, which can make it easier to remember. Another way to use storytelling in learning is to create stories around key facts or concepts. By creating memorable stories around key pieces of information, you can make them more memorable and easier to recall. This can be especially helpful for remembering lists of facts or concepts that may seem dry or difficult to remember. Storytelling is a powerful tool that can be used in conjunction with other learning techniques to improve your ability to remember information. When used in combination with active recall and spaced repetition, storytelling can be a highly effective way to improve your learning and memory. All right, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to leave a like, comment below, and share this video with your friends. We wish you all the best in your learning journey. See you in the next video.